Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue going through the reference materials. Today, we'll be starting out with, let's see here, probably getting to the point where it'd be faster to go the other way. Yeah, it looks like we're going to do the J-7E Fishbed. So without further ado, J-7E, title, Hack McCoyan J-7, Chinese name, Jian GG-7 Fighter Aircraft 7 or Chinese name Jian 7. Westernized designation F7. Type single-seat fighter and close support aircraft. Program Soviet license to manufacture MiG-21 F-13 and its R-11F-300 engine. Granted the Chinese government in 1961 when some pattern aircraft and CKD or component knockdown kits delivered, but necessary technical documentation not completed. Assembly of first J-7 using Chinese-made components began early 1964. Original plan in 1964 to 1965 was for Chengdu and Guizhou factories to become main airframe engine production centers for the J-7, backed up by Shenyang until these were fully productive, but plans affected by onset of Cultural Revolution. Static testing completed November 1965, first flight of Shenyang-built J-7, 17th of January 1966. Chengdu production of J-7 began June 1967. Development of J-7-2 began 1975, followed by first flight 30th of December 1978 and production approval September of 1979. Development of F-7M and J-7-3 started 1981. J-7-3 first flight 26th of April 1984. F-7M revealed publicly October 1984, production go-ahead December 1984, named Air Guard early 1986. First F-7P deliveries to Pakistan 1988, first F-7MPs to Pakistan mid-1989. Design features: diminutive-tailed delta with clip tips to mid-mounted wing, circular section fuselage with dorsal spine, nose intake with conical center body swept tail, with large vertical surfaces and vertical fin. Wing anhedral 2 degrees from roots, incidence 0 degrees, thickness chord ratio approximately 5% at root, 4.2% at tip. Quarter chord sweepback 49 degrees, 6 minutes 36 seconds, no wing leading edge camber. Structure: all metal. Wings have 2 primary spars and auxiliary spar. Semi-monocoque, I gotta look up how to pronounce that because I'm always unsure. Fuselage with spine housing control push rods, avionics, single point refueling cap, and fuel tank. Blister fairings on fuselage above and below each wing to accommodate retracted main wheels. Landing gear: inward retracting main wheels with 600 by 200 millimeter tires, pressure 11.5 bars or 166.8 pounds per square inch, and LS16 disc brakes. Forward retracting nose wheel with 500 by 180 millimeter tires, pressure 7 bars or 101.5 pounds per square inch, and LS15 double acting brake. Nose wheel steerable plus or minus 47 degrees, minimum ground turning radius 7.04 meters or 23 feet and 1.25 inches. Tail braking parachute at base of vertical tail. Power plant: one Chengdu WP7B BM turbojet rated for 43.15 kilonewtons or 9,700 pounds force drive, 59.82 kilonewtons or 13,448 pounds force with afterburning, and F-7M. WP-13 turbojet, 40.21 kilonewtons or 9,039 pounds thrust drive, 64.72 kilonewtons or 14,550 pounds thrust with afterburning, and J-7-3/F-7-3. Total internal fuel capacity 2,385 liters, or 630 US gallons or 524.5 imperial gallons, contained in 6 flexible tanks in fuselage and 2 integral tanks in each wing. Provision for carrying a 500 or 800 liter or 132 or 211.3 US gallon or 110 or 176 imperial gallon centerline drop tank and or a 500 liter drop tank on each outboard underwing pylon. Max internal external fuel capacity 4,185 liters or 1,105.3 US gallons or 920.5 imperial gallons. Accommodation: pilot only on CAC, 0 height, low speed, ejection seat, operable between 70 and 459 knots, or between 130 and 850 kilometers per hour, or 81 to 528 miles per hour. Indicated airspeed. Martin Baker Mark 10L seat in Pakistani F7P and F7MP, one-piece canopy, hinged at rear to open upward. J-7 III F7 canopy open sideways to starboard. Avionics: F7M GEC Marconi avionics suite includes a Type 956 HUD WAC 80-3400 2-band UHF VHF multifunction comm system, Type 226 Skyranger ranging radar with ECCM, and an air data computer. Other avionics include Chinese Type 602 IFF transponder, Type 0101 HRA/2 radar altimeter, WL-7 radio compass, and XS-6A marker beacon receiver. HUDWAC, head-up display and weapon aiming computer, provides pilot with displays for instrument flying, with air-to-air and air-to-ground weapon aiming symbols integrated with flight instrument symbology. It can store 32 weapon parameter functions, allowing for both current and future weapon variants. In air-to-air combat, its 4 modes: missiles, conventional gunnery, snapshot gunnery, dogfight, and standby aiming reticule, allow for all eventualities. Navigation function includes approach mode. Armament: for the F7M, 2 30mm Type 30-1 belt-fed cannons with 60 rounds per gun in fairings under front fuselage just forward of the wing root leading edges. 2 hardpoints under each wing, of which outer ones are wet for carriage of drop tanks. Centerline pylon used for drop tank only. Each inboard pylon capable of carrying a PL-2, PL-2A, PL-5B, or PL-7 missile, or at customer's option, a Matra R550 Magic. 1 18-2 pod of Type 57-2 or 57mm air-to-air and air-to-ground rockets, 1 Type 90-1 90mm 7.2 pod of air-to-ground rockets, or a 50, 150, 250, or 500 kilogram bomb on the center pylon, I think is what they're trying to... Or no, on each inboard pylon. Each outboard pylon can carry one of the above rocket pods, a 50 or 150 kilogram bomb, or a 500 liter drop tank. Dimensions: external wingspan except J-7E 7.154 meters or 23 feet 5 5/8 inches. Wing chord at root 5.508 meters or 18 feet 3/4 inches. At tip, except for J-7E, 0.462 meters or 1 foot 6 1/4 inches. Wing aspect ratio, except J-7E, 2.22. Length overall, excluding nose probe, 13.945 meters or 45 feet 9 inches. Including the nose probe, 14.885 meters or 48 feet 10 inches. Fuselage length, 12.177 meters or 39 feet and 11.5 inches. Max diameter, 1.341 meters or 4 feet 4 3/4 inches. Height overall, 4.103 meters or 13 feet 5.5 inches. Tailplane span, 3.14 meters or 10 feet 3.5 inches. Areas: wings gross except J-7E, 23 meters squared or 247.6 square feet. Ailerons total except J-7E, 1.18 meters squared or 12.7 square feet. Trailing edge flaps total 1.87 meters squared or 20.13 square feet. Fin, 3.48 meters squared or 37.46 square feet. Rudder, 0.97 meters squared or 10.44 square feet. Tailplane, 3.94 meters squared or 42.41 square feet. Wow, they go into a lot of detail for this. You'd think you'd see this kind of detail on at least the older American fighters as well, but no, just the Chinese one apparently, I guess. Weights and loadings. Weight empty, 5,275 kilograms or 11,629 pounds. Wing loading at normal max takeoff weight. For the F7M, you're at 27.43 kilograms per meter square, or 67.1 pound per square foot. Our loading at normal max takeoff weight for the F7M is 125.5 kilograms per kilonewton, or 1,230 pounds per pound force. Performance, F7M at normal max takeoff never exceeds speed above 12,500 meters or 41,010 feet, Mach 2.35 or 1,346 knots, or 2,495 kilometers per hour or 1,550 miles per hour. Max rate of climb at sea level, 10,800 meters or 35,435 feet per minute. Acceleration from Mach 0.9 to Mach 1.2 at 5,000 meters or 16,400 feet, 35 seconds. Max sustained turn rate, Mach 0.7 at sea level, 14.7 degrees per second. Mach 0.8 at 5,000 meters or 16,400 feet, 9.5 degrees per second. Service ceiling, 18,200 meters or 59,710 feet, G limit plus 8. Length, 13.94 meters, height, 4.1 meters, wingspan, 7.15 meters, max level speed in knots, 1,175. Max range 939 nautical miles, takeoff run of 800 meters and a landing run of 550 meters. Max rate of climb 10,800 meters per minute. Service ceiling 18,200 meters. And we can see in the photo view, there's nothing too remarkable about it. It's just a Chinese MiG-21 with some minor modifications, and in the later variants, a lot of modernization that perhaps the Soviet ones didn't receive, as China used these far longer than the Soviets used their MiG-21s. You can see the distinctive radome air intake there for the engine, which you see that in a lot of early fighter aircraft. Actually, the reason it went away is because that occupied space that was better spent on the radar. And you see the Americans made that shift a bit sooner than the Soviets did. Well, the West in general, I think, because you see like the F-8 Crusader, which is roughly the same generation as this, or even the Starfighter. You know, they tend to have their air intakes on the side or underneath the nose to free it up for a more powerful radar. And that's due to doctrinal differences. The West tended to put more powerful radars in their aircraft, and they're more independent, whereas Soviet doctrine mainly relied on ground control stations vectoring aircraft to their targets and then only using the aircraft's radar for the attack, rather than the West, which uses ground control stations as well as air control stations in the form of AWACS for, wide area surveillance, but aircraft are basically capable of conducting their own surveillance to some degree if for whatever reason that connection is severed. So, in any case, that's about all I have for you this time. Next time we will be looking at whatever's next. Looks like it's the MiG-17. So look forward to that. And with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.